In today's episode, we are going to be looking at the new for 2024 Proven Winter Annuals. So probably about 4 or 6 weeks ago, we got the plugs in and did a video on that, and many of you commented on it, and I just thought I'd show you the updated version of the plants now that they've had some time to grow, fill out, and actually get some real flowers on them. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings. Stick with me and I'll show you the new for 2024 annuals from Proven Winners. The first one we're going to start with, which I think is a beautiful new color breakthrough in the Supertunia family. This is the Supertunia Saffron Finch. Let's go in and take a closer look. So Saffron Finch is part of the Supertunia family, which means it's the petunias that you don't need to deadhead. They're self-cleaning and just very wonderful plants. They get about 4 to 12 inches tall and about 18 to 24 inches wide. Great for planting in the landscape as well as planting in hanging baskets in containers. They like to be grown in full sun to part shade locations, and we are just really excited here at Garden Crossings to add this new coloration in because it's such a nice bold pop of color that we really have been looking for in the Supertunia family. Supertunia Saffron Finch. An improved flower in this Supertunia Mini Vista series is the Mini Vista Sweet Sangria. Let's go in and take a look at these flowers. Supertunia Mini Vista Sangria has been replaced with this new variety that has larger and brighter fuchsia pink flowers. It blooms a little bit earlier in the season and just lasts throughout the entire summer. It gets about 6 to 12 inches tall and can spread up to 18 to 24 inches wide. It likes to be grown in full sun to part shade locations. And I don't know about you, but this color here I think would pair beautifully with that Supertunia Saffron Finch. This here is a Verbena Superbena Cherry Burst Improved. Look at these beautiful bicolor blooms. This is an upgraded version of the popular Cherry Burst Verbena. This selection has excellent vigor and the plants and flowers are just huge. One thing you will find on this variety is that you're going to get a lot of contrast of coloration. You've got the pink and white candy cane striped flowers, but you're also going to see little speckles of peachy pink flowers as shown here on some of the different flowers here in this tray I'm holding. So you're going to see a lot more of the randomization of these flowers here that you're seeing mixed in with the candy stripe pink and white flowers. So excellent vigor. You can see lots of flowers here. These also don't need to be deadheaded unless you want to, but you really don't need to. So this is a great improvement here to this Cherry Burst Superbena family. Here we have the Super Bells Pink. This is an improved version of the older pink variety. And what we're noticing with these flowers is that they're a much larger flower, and I love the intense pink coloration. There's almost kind of a iridescent-y sheen that I'm seeing. This plant has a much nicer, fuller habit than the older variety. So this has always been a very popular plant. So it's nice to see when a popular plant is improved to have a little bit larger flowers, brighter flower color, and certainly a better habit is always a welcome addition. Super Bells Pink Improved. A new addition to the Coleus family, the Drop series, is Cherry Drop. So you may be familiar with Strawberry Drop or Chocolate Drop. Cherry Drop is featuring a lot more intense red in the foliage here. This is a trailing variety of Coleus. It's great for hanging baskets or containers, and it's going to trail over the edge of your pot. It'll get about 14 to 18 inches tall and will trail or spread up to 24 inches wide. This variety can be planted in full sun to full shade areas, and it's just a great addition to a container if you're looking for something different than maybe a sweet potato vine or a flowering plant that spills over the edge of the pot. This is a great foliage addition. This is the Coleus Cherry Drop. So there was a lot of new double Super Bells that were introduced this year. This particular variety is called Super Bells Double Redstone, and it's got beautiful shades of kind of a golden yellow and orangey red for each of these double flowers. They look like little rose buds. This plant will get about 6 to 12 inches tall and about 12 to 24 inches wide or trailing. It likes to be grown in full sun to part shade locations. You can see here it's got a nice thick dense habit with those beautiful little blooms. One thing I will say with Super Bells is they are not a plant that loves a lot of water. So when you're planting these, I think they're better suited in containers or in baskets than what they are in ground plantings. So hold on and enjoy the rest of the doubles we'll be showing in this video. Super Bells Blue Improved also is a nice improvement to the Super Bell Blue that had been around for many, many years. You can see it's got a little bit larger flower, a lot deeper coloration. Now in the flower world, blue and purple are kind of interchangeable words. And I just love the habit of this. You can see it's a little bit more dense, or at least we can as growers, that it's a lot more dense here in the pot. So we're excited for this new Super Bells Blue Improved variety and to see what it will do in the containers and combinations. So the variety that had an improvement this year that I feel had the most improvement here is the Supertunia Bermuda Beach. Look at these vibrant pink flowers, very large in size. The old Bermuda Beach, I just found that color of pink was very hard to use and to mix with other plants, where this color here that they've improved it to, I think just has a much cleaner, richer, just more vibrant coloration to the pink. So we're excited to use these Bermuda Beach in containers and in hanging baskets. They also will grow well in ground plantings. They like to be grown in full sun to part shade locations. And like I said, I'm excited for this new coloration of Bermuda Beach. I think it's going to be a lot easier to work with in the different container designs that we're doing. Pink Cashmere is the new Verbena that will be added to the 2024 collection. And look at these giant flowers. They're very soft pink, and you're kind of seeing, 2-3 shades of pink going on depending on how old the blooms are. This plant is going to be a very vigorous form of Verbena. There's just a couple flowers starting, but there are a ton of buds all over this plant. This plant is going to get about 6 to 12 inches tall and about 18 to 30 inches wide. So it is going to be a big plant. It can be planted in containers or in the ground and likes to be grown in full sun to part shade locations. So we're excited to try this and just see how it performs. Like I said, it looks like it's going to be a very vigorous plant in general, but also with these large flowers. So this will be a fun one that I'll be planting up in our containers just to see how it does. This is the Verbena Pink Cashmere. So when I was first looking over the block of the new introductions, I saw this one, and the first thing that came to my mind was Bacopa. And it looks a lot like Bacopa, but this is actually James Britannia. So this is the third in the series. This one is called Safari Dusk, and it features beautiful purple flowers with that golden yellow center. This is a nice plant for hanging baskets, containers. You can even use it in the ground. It kind of has an upright mounding habit. It gets about 6 to 12 inches tall and can spread about 12 to 24 inches wide. So this is kind of a relative of Bacopa or Cetera. So that is probably the reason why, upon first glance, I got a little bit mixed up on what this plant actually was. But beautiful, large flowers, much larger than the Bacopa that we carry, and a very just powerful pack of color. The James Britannia Dusk. So a little funny story about this plant before we started filming. Me and my videographer, we were talking about, she said it's very antique-y looking, kind of vintage were the words that she used, and that was before she even knew the name of this plant. So this is a Super Bells double vintage coral, and the blooms are described as kind of an antique looking orange, red, burgundy. So very just funny how she kind of was using all the trigger words that really do describe this plant. Beautiful double rosebud looking blooms. This plant likes to be grown in full sun to part shade locations, and I would most recommend it in planters or hanging baskets. Super Bells don't like to be wet, so in an area where, I don't want to say there's less water because I don't want you to think it's like super drought tolerant, but just don't put it in an area that gets a lot of water. This color here I think would look nice with oranges or yellows or even reds. Just really a unique coloration to this Super Bells double family. Supertunia Mini Vista Ultramarine. If you're somebody that has fallen in love with Supertunia Royal Velvet over the years, this is a variety that you will find sort of as close to the Royal Velvet, with the exception this has a little bit smaller flowers and a more compact type habit. This is a great plant for containers or planters, also a great plant to go in the landscape, being that it's part of that Vista series. Ultramarine is definitely deep purple in color. I'm seeing kind of black undertones, deep blue undertones. Really a beautiful, attractive flower on this plant. It gets about 6 to 12 inches tall and about 18 to 24 inches wide. Likes to be grown in full sun to part shade locations. And with all of the Superbells and Supertunias that we've talked about today, we do recommend fertilizing them every 1 to 2 weeks to continue to keep them looking fabulous all summer long. A beautiful new color to add to the double Superbells family is the Superbells Double Smitten Pink. This has got beautiful bicolor blooms. You'll see shades of lighter pink and then deeper rose center there. This plant gets 6 to 12 inches tall and will spread up to 24 inches wide. Likes to be grown in full sun to part shade locations. And I like this new coloration because so far there really hasn't been any pinks in the double Superbells family, and I think this is going to pair so nicely with so many of the new varieties that are being introduced this year, along with, of course, many of the older ones as well. But yeah, this Superbells Double Smitten Pink is really a very beautiful new addition to the 2024 introductions. Every series needs a good white, and here we have it. This is the Superbells Double White, a very crisp, clean white flower. Very large flowers as well, kind of that rosebud look that is very typical of the double Superbells family. So really, I mean, this white will blend well with any color that you want to plant it with. And because the flowers are double, they feel bigger and they have more texture, I think, than maybe just a singular Superbell. This likes to be grown in full sun to part shade locations like the others and gets about 6 to 12 inches tall and about 18 to 24 inches wide. Great for containers, planters. Again, probably not the best choice to have them in the ground. Another improved variety here is the Nemesia Sunsetia Coconut. And I wanted to bring this out as a full flat just to show you how much flower power this plant has. So definitely that is one of the improvements with this variety is the flower power. I mean, this is just a mass of beautiful blooms. In addition to the flower power, also it has an improved heat tolerance, so this plant can handle more of that summer heat. Last year a new variety was the mulberry, and I fell in love with that plant, and it just did well all summer long out in our trials. So I'm really excited to see how coconut stands up now to the heat of the summer. But man, I sure tell you, this is a lot of flowers from one plant. We saved the plant that we thought was the most unique to the 2024 introductions for last. This is a Supertunia. It's a new series called Hoopla, and this is called Vivid Orchid. Let's take a look at these flowers. See what all the hoopla is about. This Picotee pattern petunia is the best that has been trialed by proven winners in years. It meets the standard of the Supertunia family with season-long performance without needing to be deadheaded. It also has a very nice well-branched habit and performs good in the garden as well as in containers. It holds this beautiful purple and white coloration all summer long. It gets 4 to 12 inches tall and can spread up to 24 inches wide. It likes to be grown in full sun to part shade locations. And I don't know about you, but this hoopla with that canary yellow that we started off the video with, I think would make a very perfect pairing. If I had to guess, we're probably going to be seeing more in this hoopla series in the years to come. We'll see, who knows, but this is a very unique introduction to the Supertunia family. Thanks for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. We'll be sure to get all your questions answered. We'll be putting links. Actually, we won't be putting links because these are new varieties, so we won't have links to these new varieties. But we did poke pictures up on the screen so that you can write down the varieties so that you can make a list for your 2024 garden. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.